Hey guys, welcome back out to the channel. Great news. Finally got my Weber IDF master rebuild kits in finally for both carbs. And so I'm excited and I'm getting ready to commence to finally getting these Weber IDFs rebuilt. Now, I think I've shared this before, but I've had these carbs for roughly 20 years. I was given a trash can full of old parts, old Volkswagen parts, for free. And down in that trash can were these two Weber IDFs with manifolds and everything, even a linkage, which it wasn't in too good a shape. But nevertheless, one of the carbs, the butterflies wouldn't even move. It was just stuck shut. And the other one I don't think was moving very much, if I recall correctly. So I sort of soaked them in penetrate and did what I could to get them freed up. And they were just nasty. They had dirt and sand and corrosion, and no telling how long they had been off anyways. It's kind of sitting in the elements, but I figured at the time, like, there's no way these carbs would ever get back to being functional. So I sort of, cleaned them up, put them away, and got out of dune buggies for Volkswagens for a long time. Well, I've been back in it for some time now, and I'm finally getting to the point where I want to rebuild these for a project. Never really had an engine big enough to run them, and I think it's time now to just get these babies back on the road. They do make a master rebuild kit that has everything I need, and trust me, I needed a bunch. Like the throttle shafts that the butterfly sat on had surface rust and pitting on them, and the bearings, just obviously we're not going to be in great shape. So I really needed something that had just about every piece that they make. And so I got that, and I'm ready to get started on that. Now this guy here, I have been taking apart most everything. As you can see, I've taken out the butterflies, the shafts, and I've even gone to the extent of drilling out little passages, the fuel galleries, I guess is what you'd call that, the fuel galleries, just to get everything as clean as can be. Now these look really nice, on the outside, but let me trust me, deep down inside, I don't know if this light really helps or anything, but they are really rough. But I believe they could be saved. Basically, what we're going to be doing here is what I call a carburetor coming to Jesus meeting. And by that I mean it basically needs deep cleansing deep down inside from the inside out. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Like I said, I've been taking care of this one. I still got to take all the parts off of this and get the galleries all reamed out and clean. And the next step will be to soda blast this from the inside out. Just because from what I have dealt with on this one, it really needed it, and I suspect that around the corners we're probably going to have little issues here or there. Let me just tell you, this guy, and I'll show you here in a second what I mean. The bearings, one of them was locked up completely, so it had to be spinning on the shaft. Well, the other bearing, just you could tell it was, had that little rough sound. So it needed new bearings. I think it was, one of these passages here, this one, I had to take a drill bit and go in, and I'd say about that much was clogged with, I don't know if it was dirt or corrosion or what, but nevertheless, most of these carbs, the only defect I see on any of them, despite the rough conditions they had been in, the only defect is right here on the corner. We've got a little piece broken off, but I don't think that's enough to take it off the road. Maybe I'll take some putty, form it up like this on the other side, and maybe use some JB Weld and tap that out, and that'll be fine. It doesn't, where it's at, it doesn't even have to seal all that great, from the outside elements and that sort of thing. So I think we're going to be safe there. But anyways, this is going to be a big job, and I'm looking forward to it. It will be fun. I find sometimes this tedious stuff can be enjoyable. And so I'm going to get to getting this one taken care of, and we'll get to soda blasting these. So here's a look at this, at the right carburetor that I'm getting ready to work on. As you can see, all of that crap in there. I've already soaked this carb in sort of a Berryman's or off-brand Berryman's cleaner. It really doesn't help. It's not the carb dip that we used to have 20, 30 years ago. Thank you, EPA. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully that soda blast will fix that. Now, I'm doing this project. It's to your advantage to have a wide variety of punches and lots of other little tools like good pliers and the appropriate size drill bits, that sort of thing to clean out, because you'll also need a drill bit if you're going to go as far as I did, where you drill out the galleries and that sort of thing. You're going to need that and the appropriate tools to kind of clean that out. It's probably going to be a little difficult to do this on film. So what I might do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to punch out, there's a little tiny pin inside here for this accelerator pump cam, I guess, if you call that. I'm going to pop that out off camera and take these parts loose and put them all kind of in a bag labeled right carb. That way most of it is going to be not used because it's in the kit, but you never know. It's nice to have that kind of stuff. Take pictures of everything. That way you know if you have any questions beyond what's in the literature, that it can help you get where you're going to get at. Oh, one quick thing. I don't know if you can see it. You could probably see where I have kind of taken a grinder, a little Dremel. I've kind of trimmed down the top of that the shaft where the screws go through. They were kind of risen up a little bit. And I felt like it would do less damage when you bring the shaft out, just to clean those up. Any high spots that you can see, is a no-brainer to fix. That way you can pull that out. So anyways, I'm going to do that, and I'll get back to you when we're done there. Just a couple of things that these carbs don't come with that I wish they did is, number one, it does come with the brass cap for this, but I wished it came with the little pre-filter that came in there, so I'm going to have to order me one of them. The other thing is for the, I guess what you call that, the screw for the idle. Anyways, when you set your idle to set the air for that screw, I wished it came with replacement brass fittings for that. And I'll tell you why. I mean, it's probably not a big deal. I haven't noticed them being messed up yet, but look at the tip of that needle. It is, it's seen better days. I'm just hoping that inside there we can clean that up and it's not damaged. I think it'll be all right, but it comes with so many little things you wouldn't think about. It comes with new brass fittings there. Comes with all new shafts. It does not come with butterflies. But it also, let's see, what else was something I was surprised about. Yeah, I think it comes with all these screws. And new fittings for the sides and springs and stuff. Cap for that. Very pleased. New cam and that sort of thing where we're gonna press that out. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on keeping on and get back to you in a second. Well, folks, here's a fine example of how doing this sort of work sometimes will make you want to scream. If you'll notice, I have a little boo-boo here. Luckily, this one came out. Now, these screws technically they're supposed to be screwed all the way in and they stay. Well, look at this one. You can just see how rusted those are. And I had one just break off. Lovely. So what I essentially just did, I sprayed this with some penetrant and heated it up with some MAP gas. Sort of let that penetrant get down in there. I guess I'm just going to have to try to drill that a little bit. I'm going to attempt to use an easy out. Later on, I'm going to go ahead and finish this stuff out. Yeah, that's not what I really wanted to get into, but hey, if you're going to play, you're going to pay sometimes, so that's what you got to do. Worst case scenario, I guess I could put it on the drill press and drill and tap it. Let's hope that don't come down to that. Lord, help us with easy out. That's all I got to say. Now, I'm not sure if this is right or wrong, but here's how I commenced to getting the shaft off. I sort of took everything off and I tapped it this way some, enough to drive the bearing out. And then I went back and tapped it that way some. Really, based off of my other experience with the other carburetor, I'm trying to get this off first. If I can get that off, and then I can go through here. I'll take that back. Here's what I did. I ended up tapping this all the way through, and then I come back in with a little punch, and I can actually kind of get, because this is a little bit bigger boss than this side is. So I'll just come back in with a little punch and pop that out. That way I don't damage anything. So that's what I'm gonna do there. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna end it for today. There really isn't much more I can do because once again, with the weather being 20 degrees, I am not gonna be doing any solder blasting, and everything else is pretty much taken care of, with the exception of our little cliffhanger. Hopefully that's going to come out. I've heated it a few times, put a little penetrating oil. It's bubbling up, so I know it's getting down in there. Hopefully that easy out will get that out. But anyways, one last thing I'll say. When you do start drilling out all your passes and that sort of thing for your galleries, there is this one, these plugs that go in right here. It's a brass plug, and down in it you're going to see these 4 little holes, and that's where your butterflies, as they progress or whatever, it allows so much air and fuel mixture or whatever in, and some other sciences I don't know. But anyways, long story short, there's a little hole going down to this passage and then one going up into here. And so in 1 or 2 of these, I had a little bit of dirt in there. So once again, it sort of states the importance of being thorough in trying to get all that cleaned up. So anyways, we're going to stop there. Hopefully when I get back to you, I will have fixed the broken off bolt, and we'll be doing a little bit of blasting. So, well, I'm out here today getting ready to do a little bit of bead blasting here in our super professional setup. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So I got this little spot blasting gun or whatever, and I have already tried using some soda media, which is really good for aluminum parts. However, with as nasty as my carburetors were, it really wasn't taking off what I needed to, especially in the carb bowl. So what I did was I switched to glass media, some bead blasting. And let me tell you that I've tried one style and it really made a nice shiny finish. This other style is a little bit more dull. But I think it's going to eventually come out okay. I mean, you can see right here, it looks very dull and gray. But once that's sort of rinsed off and whatever, I think it'll look a lot shinier. You just really see the dust. But so you can look into the bowl. It's much cleaner than it was, but there's still some pitting and that sort of thing, which is fine. All we're looking to have it is clean and functional. And so I've done both carbs. I actually was going to film it for you, but unfortunately, it just makes it kind of tough to film that. It's because you got sand and junk going everywhere. I don't want that in my phone. That's what I'm doing that with right now. I've got my buddies here. I'm trying to teach them something about carburetors, but they just don't seem to be interested. They just want to cheer and dance and play ball. But, you know, you can't save everyone, right? Look at them. They're making fun of me. Just a quick note. Don't do what I did. If you're going to blast anything, be it soda or glass bead, especially glass bead, and if you're like me and you wear contacts, I started out with a face mask and just regular safety glasses. It's a bad choice because it will get in your eyes. Get you one of these bad boys. It will save your life. So anyways, we're going to get to finishing up on, I got bags of carb parts here. It has accelerator pump and the butterflies mainly. We just need to clean up some other parts. We'll get that done, and then we should be set up and ready to go for just the cleansing side of this, and finally the rebuild. Well, guys, I think we've had a very successful afternoon getting these carburetors bead blasted like what we wanted to do and getting them all cleaned. Got the carbs done, and then went on and got all these other little parts like these little Venturis, the butterflies blasted, the accelerator pump housing or whatever, even down to the jets and the emulsion tubes that go in those. We got those all blasted and cleaned and blown out about 7 or 8 times, and we'll probably blow them out a few more times. I've even gone in and some of these individual passages just sort of verified that they were good and clean and that we didn't have any, you know, sort of particulate in it. But you know what? You can never be too safe. So we'll continue to blow them out, make sure we're good to go, and we won't have anything scare us. So I thought I'd let you in our little cliffhanger. I never spoke back up about the good old air bypass screw that we accidentally managed to get broken off into this housing. Well, so I didn't film this because I did it at work at lunch, but so here's the deal. That thing was stuck. I went ahead and I drilled into it a little bit. Thought I might take an easy out. Worked that easy out in even with some heat. Didn't work. The metal I guess used on that screw just almost started to crack. So that didn't happen. So I had to do what I was afraid I would have to do, and that is drill it out and retap it. Okay, that was somewhat successful for the most part. Even in a drill press, when you're drilling this out, it really requires precision because there's little tiny holes that little I guess jet, or I'm sorry, needle, that'd be the word, needle has to fit in. It doesn't exactly sink in there like it should, but it's okay on that screw. If it was going to happen on anyone, it needed to happen there. So luckily on these IDFs on Volkswagen applications, that stays closed. So I'm going to seal that shut with a sealant and the new needle that I put in there. It'll be fine, thank goodness. Now, if you're going to use it on another application where you had to use that air bypass screw, well, you might have a problem. So we got lucky on that one. Well, anyways, guys, that's where we're going to leave this video today. I tell you what, I'm glad we did this because this, if ever there was a carburetor that needed to be blasted, it was these guys. They were really bad. I would totally do it again on another one, especially one that really needed it. I mean, granted, you can get by pretty easy just using some good old carb cleaner and some good old-fashioned elbow grease, but these were the exception. They really needed it. And I think it's been a good exercise, especially drilling out these passages and and all that, because if nothing else, what it has done is it's really taught me, if you want to learn about how a carburetor works, you've got to get into every single piece, study it, study which passage goes where, and it helps you understand how this carb actually works. So for somebody just getting into IDFs, this was probably a good exercise to do and a big one to take on, but I think we're getting it. So anyways, we're going to stop it there. The next video you'll see related to this will be me sort of getting the carburetor put back together, and then we will be ready to storm away until our engine's done and get her up and going. So anyways, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So until next video, we'll see you.